All right, guys, we made it happen in the rigging station. Jumped outside aboard our Mercury-powered 41 CTS. This is one badass fishing machine. There's no other way for me to say it. This thing is an absolute monster. 12-foot beam, 700-gallon fuel capacity, powered by quad Mercury V10 400s, state-of-the-art Furuno TZT XL network. And I'll tell you what, a dream boat by all explanations, by all angles. It's a dream boat. But you know what I realized about this boat? It's not for everyone. You know, that's the truth. And when I say this boat, I don't necessarily mean this boat. I mean cats, you know, catamarans. I've owned a lot of V-hulls. I've been in multiple boats in the mid-30s. I've run a lot of boats, all the way on up to sport fish yachts, even 100-foot party boats. And I've experienced a lot over my years. I really have. But the cat, this is an animal of different caliber. You know, this boat is in a unique niche that requires proper handling, proper skill set, proper confidence in order to truly achieve peak performance. You know, I say all of this because I recently spent some time with a friend who recently took ownership of a brand new 36-foot catamaran powered by quad 300 horsepower outboards, Mercury V8s. Not a sea hunter, but nor here nor there. It was a catamaran. And we spent the entire day working on his boat handling skills because he just couldn't understand why the boat wasn't reacting the way he wanted it to, or couldn't understand why the boat was reacting the way he didn't want it to. And with the Miami Boat Show coming up next week, I thought this is a great time to talk to you about catamarans before you go to the show and sign on the dotted line, right? There's some things you truly need to understand in order to make an educated decision. So look, let's not talk fishing. Let's talk boating. That's what I want to do. I want to talk boating. That's what I want to do here today. We've already talked about fishing enough for a while. It's a catamaran. It's not a V-hull. There are two separate hulls. You could see them, right? We call these sponsons. These hulls are connected, obviously, right down the middle of the boat. And there's a tunnel that goes in between them. Very simple concept. Powered by quad 400 horse outboards, but I don't care what engines you have. Most cats in this class, big cats like this, are absolutely powered by quad engines. So essentially you have two boats. You've got one boat over on this side with twins, and how are you guys? And you have another boat over on this side with twins connected in the middle. So right out of the gate, it's a completely different animal than your typical V-hull. We need to remember that. That's first and foremost. So don't expect a catamaran to perform or react the way that a V-hull does, because it doesn't. You think you're going to lean one way and it goes the other way. You think the inertia and the G-forces and, you know, the feelings that you get moving around the boat, you're accustomed to one way, and then you get on a big cat like this and they're completely the opposite. You think you're going to trim the boat a certain way. You know, typical trim tabs. Our bow is up over here. We trim down. This trim tab goes down. The bow goes down. It's opposite on a cat. We typically don't use trim tabs at all. We just use the trim on the engine to achieve peak performance. So there's a lot of little nuances for you to understand. And it's important that you do. Because so many guys, I've heard so many guys who say, oh, I was in a V-hull and then I got into a catamaran and I absolutely hate it. I hate the way the boat performs. Take it back. Take it back. Give me my money back. I'm going to go back to a V-hull. You know what that is? I got to be honest with you. That's operator error. 90% of the time, that's operator error. It really, really is. So there's some things that I want to talk to you about to make sure that you really understand the differences between a catamaran and a V-hull. First and foremost, The downside to a cat, if you want to call it a downside, is you lose the space below deck right down the center line of the boat because there is nothing below the boat. Look, there's a tunnel right underneath the two sponsons, so we can't put a step down head or a step down cabin on a catamaran. It just doesn't logistically work. But you have incredibly deep sponsons, so you have tremendous storage with huge boxes all the way up and down the deck on both sides. So what you lose in the center, you certainly gain on both sides. Not to say that you don't have any room in the console, you do. We've got an enclosed head, big access door, perfect for everything that you need. But if you're looking for that step down design with a bunk or a galley, a V-hull may be a better option for you. Performance-wise, remember, we have two hulls. So as you enter waves, those hulls inherently want to lean one way or the other. And water's rushing down that tunnel. And I'm trying to say this in very simple terms for you to understand it. So a lot of times these boats feel squirrely. They feel like they're controlling you because as you enter the oncoming wave, you're burying the bow, the boat wants to go one way, you oversteer, you steer the other way, you're compounding the problem, then you steer the other way, you're going back and forth, your steps under the hull are flooding with water, which, you know, easiest way to explain it, that's like driving down 95, stepping on your brakes and only the front right brake engaging. Of course your vehicle is going to react in a funny way, right? Same with a boat. So you have to understand that you have to use trim, engine trim, to get that bow to ride at the correct attitude. You don't want to bury that bow. Oncoming waves, what we call a head seat, attack it. And you don't need a lot of trim. And you literally can head right into that head seat almost with no trim on occasion and have an incredible ride. On the other hand, in a following sea, this is when it really, really becomes important. On a following sea, we need a lot of trim. We got to bring that bow up. We've got to increase speed, okay? Get that boat riding on the pads, on the back third of the hull. Get these sponsons up and out of the water. Each oncoming wave in a following sea is pushing you forward. It's lunging you forward. As it lunges you forward, she wants to do this. Instead, if you lift that bow with trim, as she's lunging you forward, there's no more burying the bow. She's riding nice and evenly and straight right above those waves with a nice soft ride. No pounding. Dry. I mean, no squirreliness at all. So a lot of it has to do with trim, okay? Trim angle is just so important. And it's not set it and forget it. Every condition is different. You have to tweak the performance of a cat in order to get peak performance in every condition. That's what I love about this boat, that I have that ability to make fine-tune adjustments in order to achieve peak performance in every sort of condition. And I have found that on average, I'm seeing, oh gosh, easily 10 to 15 miles an hour higher cruise speed than a V-hull of the same size. And once you're really, really dialed in with the cat, you'll never go back. I'm telling you, I'll never go back to a V-hull. But it takes some practice. It takes some skill. It takes some instruction. And don't be afraid to ask for that. Okay, if you're interested in getting a cat to take advantage of the benefits of the improved ride in rough conditions, of the wide beam, the stability, the fishability, the comfort, all of those factors that go into a high performance catamaran. If you're truly considering making that leap, be sure when you take delivery of your boat that you get the proper training. I don't care what manufacturer it is. If it's Sea Hunter, if it's Freeman, if it's Invincible, if it's Prowler, Inseta or any of the other catamarans that are out there, and there seems to be more and more every year, okay, more and more, make sure that they provide the proper training. And don't be afraid to ask for it. And if they don't, contact somebody who is a cat owner and experienced and let them show you the ropes, let them show you the light, let them explain the fundamentals to you so you truly understand the handling characteristics of your boat. And when you do, you will see that there's no better option. Why anyone would purchase a V-hull over a cat, to me, is a mystery. But certainly, like I said earlier, you know, there are pros and cons to every design, and not just a V-hull may be the better option for you. If you're not the one who's out there fishing when it's rough, if you don't want to take advantage of these benefits, a V-hull may be your better choice. If you're inexperienced, a V-hull may be your better choice. I don't know, a lot of different options. If you don't want quads, a V-hull may be your better option. A lot of different scenarios. But if you're gonna go cat, I'm telling you, get the training. Also, look at the hull design. Look at this hull. Look at these two sponsons. This is not a symmetrical hull. It's an asymmetrical hull. Look at this side and look at this side. Okay, on this side, the inside is straight, the outside is not. Asymmetrical. On this side, the inside is straight, the outside is not. Asymmetrical. Some catamaran designs are symmetrical. Symmetrical. So understand the differences between those hull designs. I prefer the asymmetrical. And if you look at all high performance racing catamarans, they're all asymmetrical. They go whipping around corners at 100 miles an hour. The asymmetrical hull acts as a water brake essentially and allows that boat to maneuver at a high rate of speed safely, efficiently, and effectively. So once again, that heritage, the heritage of these sea hunters and this hull design is from that racing industry. It's for safety, speed, efficiency, and comfort. All of those factors. So do your homework. Do not make the mistake of buying the wrong boat. So many guys do that. You know, make an educated decision. You could always reach out. I'm happy to help everybody. I want you to enjoy the water. I want you to enjoy your boat and enjoy the experience. You know, I mean, just truly, it's going to be a game changer when you have that confidence. And I'll be the first to admit, look, there's not many things in life that I'm good at. Fishing, boating, I like to say, of course, is my forte. You put me in a fast car, I couldn't tell you what to do with it. I wouldn't even know how to start that thing up. So I'm not afraid to ask for help if that's the world that I'm in. And once again, I want to reiterate, you should do the same, okay? Don't be a hot shot. The safety of your passengers, your vessel, your family, your friends, it's all in your hands. So it's very, very important that you understand how to operate that boat and that you get the most out of it. And without proper training, you're not going to do it in a catamaran. You're not going to understand it. So be sure to get that assistance. And if your manufacturer doesn't offer it, call me directly. I'll be happy to help you. Okay? I've helped so many guys and I'll be happy to help you. So look, listen, want to remind you guys, we have cut the cord from the networks. Remember that, guys. We're no longer airing Florida Sport Fishing TV on Sportsman Channel, World Fishing Network. Nobody watches TV like that any longer, okay? The days of the 30-minute shows are over. The days of being bound by restrictions of time and sound and commercials, and no, those days are gone. Everybody's streaming everything, and we want you to do the same. Enjoy our content on our YouTube channel. Enjoy our content on Florida Sport Fishing TV Plus. Okay, enjoy the membership benefits. You could watch it all in your living room on your flat screen. Just AirPlay it. Just push that button on your phone, and it plays right on your TV. It's even easier than a remote control. Okay, even easier than a remote control. Finally, with the boat show coming up, it's more important than ever to not only discuss the boat, but also the accessories, the electronics. Ferrudo is a game changer, okay? We've talked so much about it. Make sure you check out recent video we just posted, Dial In Your Dash. This is something you gotta see. You have to see this video to truly understand the benefits of this network, but how important it is that your dashboard be properly laid out. and how that's going to help you be a safer boater and a more successful fisherman. Taco outriggers, okay, boat outfitter accessories, express deck, the list goes on. These decisions were not made lightly, okay, with my, I don't want to use the connections, with my history in the industry, my experience in the industry. One thing that I pride myself on is making educated decisions. I talk to a lot of people. I've listened to the good, the bad, the ugly, and I make the decisions based on what I believe is best. So trust my judgment. Doesn't come lightly, okay? And like I said, please continue to enjoy our content. We certainly appreciate you. We're committed to angler education more than ever before, not only with our Sea Hunter, with the construction of our angling retreat. We're anticipating being up and running summer 2025, and this is going to be a very special place for hardcore anglers just like you. So check it all out. More videos are coming, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Miami Boat Show.